Hi everyone. So today we're going to continue doing lesson 12.7, but it's going to be a little different, meaning it's going to be a little bit more challenging. So, as always, you're going to need the same units of time, hours, minutes, and seconds, and the rules still apply. So, when you're going from a larger to a smaller unit, you multiply by 60. When you go from a smaller to a larger unit, you divide by 60. So, I'm going to show you a little more challenging problems than what you were used to yesterday. So, as you can see in these two problems, they gave you bigger numbers, and they're also random numbers that aren't necessarily going into groups of fives or tens. So, if we take a look at the first one, we have 141 minutes, and we need to convert that to hours and then minutes because there's going to be some remaining. Now, if we look back, since we're going from minutes to hours, that means we're going from a smaller to a larger unit. So I know that I need to divide by 60. So I plug in what I have, which is 141, and I divide by 60 because there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So then I start dividing like I usually do. 60 does not go into 1, 60 does not go into 14, but 60 does go into 141 two times. When you do 2 times 60, you get 120, and then you subtract and you get a remainder of 21. Now, usually you would continue by adding a decimal and keep going until you have 0 as a remainder. But for today, we're going to keep our remainder because that's going to tell us part of our answer. So I have 2 wholes, which means I know that there's at least 2 hours in 140 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in 2 hours. Now, I know that there's a little bit more than 2 hours, but there's not 3 full hours. So I'm going to look at my remainder, and my remainder is what's going to tell me how many minutes are left over. So my remainder is 21, which means out of 60 minutes, I have 21 minutes. So my answer will be 2 hours and 21 minutes equals 141 minutes. So again, we're not going to continue solving to get 0 as a remainder. Once we finish with all of our numbers, we stop, and our remainder will tell us how many minutes is in our answer. So let's do one more. Okay, so we have 396 minutes, and we need to figure out how many hours and minutes that is. So we plug in what we have, which is 396, and we're going to divide that by 60. So then we start. So 60 does not go into 3, 60 doesn't go into 39, but 60 goes into 396, and it goes in 6 times. So we're going to do 6 times 60, which is 360. When we subtract, we get a remainder of 36. So this tells me that there are 6 hours and 36 minutes in my answer. So I'm going to plug in my 6 and my 36. So another way of looking at it is the 60 here represents an hour, but it also represents 60 minutes. So out of 60 minutes, I have 36, and that's how you know that this is in the unit of minutes. Okay, so that is how you solve more challenging problems. It's basically the same thing. It's just a little bit more complicated, and a lot of the answers tend to have 2 units at a time. All right, and that is how you continue solving units of time.